This is the TWF.com exclusive, the very first interview of Ramblin' with the Ref. Although I'm not dressed in my referee outfit because I do have a life outside of TWF most of the time, I'm here with JP. JP is, you know him as the t-shirt guy, the guy that Jake kind of beat up a little bit. JP,
with some help.
He did have some help from Lockjaw. JP,
from behind the list.
Tell me about your involvement here at TWF.
I've just been running the t-shirts, working with the individual wrestlers, getting things done, trying to find out what their style is, what their attitudes are, what they're comfortable with. And the big beef that Jake has is that he wanted a t-shirt, but the numbers don't lie. He's not a main draw anymore. It doesn't matter what he used to do. He hasn't been doing it in a long time. Most of the matches he's been in, he's been losing. So,
yeah, Jake has been on quite a losing streak. However, calling him, he has been with TWF ever since the very first day. So calling him not a main draw, it's probably what got him a little upset. With that being said, I understand that you were working out, kind of trained, trying to get into the business as a wrestler as well, or at least understand what the wrestlers go through. How's that going for you?
Well, it's tough to no surprise. It's not the easiest thing, if not one of the hardest. You got to learn how to do things properly so that you yourself don't get hurt. I've had a lot of guidance. You know, Tobias came out to my aid, as you saw, but he's also been trying to, help me defend myself because I'm not a wrestler. I've been a fan for years and years, but it's not something that I've ever been a part of before. And so to be physically manhandled like that is not something that I want to stand for anymore. And if Jake and or Lockjaw think it's going to happen again, I'm going to try my best to prepare for it.
Moving forward, Lockjaw and Jake, they're not going to forget what happened. They're not going to forget that you cost Jake a match against you. So he thinks. Well, they're not going to forget that you won't make them t-shirts. That you will not allow them to have that kind of merchandise, to be like every other member of the TWF roster, which means they're going to be gunning for you. I know you said you're out here training, you're working with Tobias and some of the other guys to learn how to defend yourself in and outside of the ring. But do you honestly think you're ready for that kind of 2-on-1 assault that could be coming your way? Especially if you show up at the next show, September 15th?
At the Colonial.
7 o'clock, doors open.
Show starts at 7:30. 3522 Stockton Boulevard.
Yeah. Bell time is at 7:30. No, I said the doors open at 7.
And I said 7:30 is when it starts.
Oh! Maybe next time I'll pay attention. But back to the question.
Well, no, but what I'm thinking is, it started off, he slapped me. That was one in his court. I cost him the match. That was one in my court. So that made us even. And then after the match, Lockjaw and Jake did some more. That put him in their sway. It's still up to me now to make the odds even. And I had a few ideas I wanted to run by everybody. And, first and foremost, my first job here is to do the t-shirts. That's not, the stuff with Jake and them is not going to jeopardize my first job, which is that. But I'm not going to just let them get away with it. They may not know when, they may not know how. But just the idea of me running around and them not knowing what I'm planning will be enough to scare them for a little bit.
Maybe that's enough to keep them at bay, because Jake is kind of a sneaky guy. Lockjaw is a big, powerful guy. So, hopefully you know what you're doing. But if you don't, you need some backup. As always, I'm here for you. This is Ramblin' with the Ref. I'm Christian Black. That's JP. I didn't mean to bother you. I'm not trying to stop you from doing anything.
I'm not being paid for this interview time. See, I get paid to wrestle. I get paid to poke people in the eyes and kick them in the nuts. But right now, you're wasting my time.
I'm very aware of how you poke people in the eye and kick them in the nuts. I've been there. We had our issues. But this is my Ramblin' with the Ref segment. For my fans,
this is going on the interweb, huh?
This is for our fans on the internet.
The internet.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what that is, right?
Yes, there's more than just porn on the internet. There's this guy.
Yes, and I
prefer porn.
Yeah, I kind of prefer porn to this guy too. Anyway, Jake, things haven't been going so great for you lately. Yeah, you had a couple matches with the newcomer, the TWF The Rock. It's kind of got the best of you. I've heard more than bad, to my fans. Maybe it's time for Jake to,
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it.
Don't say it.
I'm just saying.
I'm in the best shape of my life, all right? I am a machine.
Kind of got into it with one of our vendors. He's a fan, yes, but he does a lot of things behind the
He's
scenes.
a mark. He's on Mark.
You can call him
If
Mark.
you post on Facebook 673 times a day about Edge's retirement, or about Kurt Angle's ankle sprain, or about Christian being kept off TV so TNA doesn't get the rub of the promotion, you need 1, a life, 2, a girlfriend, and 3, you need to hit the gym. All right, Mark? JP Mark? T-shirt guy Mark? I have no time in my professional wrestling career to deal with marks.
Seems like though you made a little time, and now I talked to JP. JP kind of came out and asked me to do. He's kind of gotten himself involved in some of the physical things. I noticed he got involved a little bit with Bob and a little bit with you. And from what I'm understanding, he's working really hard to get back at you kind of physically, or at least being able to protect himself if you attack him.
He's working very hard to put on a singlet. Woo! Most of my opponents in professional wrestling, I can at least respect the fact that they're in the gym and that they're trying to be a professional wrestler. This kid, I can't even respect him because he's an armchair quarterback Mark with a belly that's way bigger than his brain. I've seen 100 of these guys through the years. I've seen 1,000 of these guys through the years. Just because you like wrestling doesn't make you a pro wrestler.
Very true. However, here he's working out with some of the guys.
Are you training him?
No.
Are you training him?
I'm not.
Are you teaching?
I have seen some of his workouts. He's got few things going.
Is it like an episode of The Biggest Loser? Does he have the testimonial where he's like, I used to wear a size 57 jean, but now I'm down to a 52. I'm so proud of myself.
Jake, one of the things I do like about you, although we don't always see eye to eye, is your sense of humor. However, I don't think it's going to be funny if things go the way he thinks it's going to go.
How does he think it's going to go?
Well, he's trying to work on protecting himself, and he says he's got a few things in store for you.
For me?
For you.
For me?
For you.
I have forgotten more on my worst day than that tub of goo, that fat, out of shape Sacramento sweat hog will ever know.
Okay,
I'm not worried about him. I don't judge my career on wins and losses. I judge my career on overall success. Who has won the title in this company more than anyone?
Yeah, it's you.
Who has ruffled more feathers with his big mouth over the past 15 years than anyone?
It's you. It's you.
So let me just say, JP, stick to making t-shirts. I'm going to get serious. Stick to making t-shirts and blogging on Facebook. Because if you get near me again, you will get hurt.
Well, there you heard it, guys. That was the Jake, and he had some very poignant words from one Mr. JP. However, I don't think he quite understands, and I didn't want to tell him. But yes, I'm working with JP. Jake's probably gonna get his. All right, let's go find somebody else.
Make no mistake. My opinions of the Jake were kept quiet until after he did what he did publicly, which was to address me and then slap me across the face and then hide behind his henchmen like a little bitch. Christian Black seems to think that this is all because I thought that Jake wasn't a mainstay anymore, but the fact of the matter is, none of that saw the light of day until after the Jake did what he did. This was all about a t-shirt and him not getting one. Plain and simple. And why bother, you ask? Why should I elevate myself, clawing and scratching for over a year, to call myself a professional wrestler, just to have to lower myself back down to acknowledge the Jake's bastardly acts? Principle. Oppose the old saying, I do sweat the small stuff, because it's those things that shouldn't exist in the first place. It's because it was a smaller one that it became a bigger one. And Jeremy Caulfield said it best. Our biggest problems arise from the avoidance of smaller ones. Just food for thought. I'm just saying. And as for my size, I'm a t-shirt guy, and as a t-shirt guy, I'm not required to have abs of steel, nor should that be the actual focal point, because the fact of the matter is someone who has been in this business for over 15 years still doesn't have them. The Jake, you call yourself a machine, that you're in the best shape of your life, but you know what? Every match I see you in, I just see a machine breaking down. You made a mistake when you put your hands on me, and I'm going to make sure that you realize your mistake. Yes, I'm going to make you, which is appropriate, since you're the one who's made me.